I'm Lyndall Moodley. I'm a 42-year-old mother of 4 children, wife, and I own a business called Hannah Grace Maternity. So our business achievements has been unexpected in the last 2 years. We've had good growth with the online shopping industry. We've seen that Hannah Grace has been recognized as one of 12 finalists with the Standard Bank Mercedes-Benz Business Accelerator called Threads, and that was a great honor and privilege. In 2022, we were also recognized in the KZN Top Business Awards in the innovation category. From our community work, we are very much involved in women and mother spaces. So we are involved with a brand called Embrace. Embrace is essentially a movement for mothers and motherhood. As a spin-off of that, I've become a Mamandla Fellow, and I call myself a motherhood activist. Our business gives back to the community through one of these avenues called Flourish. Flourish deals with antenatal classes for mothers in the LSMB sector. My business really started off with my own journey as a mom. So I bought the Kids Emporium franchise in 2014 and opened our first store in Gateway. After having our 4th baby, we decided to sell, and then we opened a online store called Hannah Grace Maternity. At the time, online shopping wasn't really a big thing in South Africa. However, it started to gain momentum as we started to sell on platforms like Takealot and Zando, and that really gave us a foot up in terms of our SEO. After getting that foothold, we decided to expand our pattern bank. We bought another little business called Mioli and merged it with Hannah Grace. And now we sit with a decent sized Instagram following and Facebook following, from which most of our sales are generated. In 2020, when COVID hit, we decided to move manufacturing in-house. So currently we have 10 staff that are employed. So we manufacture our goods from start to finish in Durban. I have been inspired by my parents, having been born and brought up in Phoenix, and now living in Umhlanga. It was really through my parents' hard work that I witnessed what good work ethic is. So from my dad, he was a truck driver for the local dairy. His work ethic was impeccable. And my mom, she would be willing to sell anything and everything from home just to make an income. And that is how I got through university, got my degree and my honors. It was solely through their hard work. So having witnessed that kind of testament in my life, there was no other option but to follow suit in terms of their example. My future goals really lie around 2 things, and that is, the first is to create a legacy for my children. I would love to see my children in the e-commerce space, especially my daughters. The second is around my employees. We are really a family. As a small business, you can do nothing else but operate as a family. So I would love for them to achieve their own goals. I'm not looking at having a massive team, but having a team of worth, a team that is thriving, not just surviving. Some of the challenges have been man-made challenges, literally. So in the e-commerce space, there isn't much recognition for women in operating within that space. I studied business information systems to my honors level, so that actually held me in quite good stead. However, that was like 20 years ago. So we all know with technology, it moves so fast paced and you have to keep up. So one of the challenges has been to source skills that are relevant in today's world to stay ahead of time. How we've managed to address that is to actually employ young students that come out of universities to help us get the best apps, best APIs to plug into our website to make it faster and to make it more user-friendly. I've also encountered the challenge of managing time. So as a mom, a businesswoman, a wife, a daughter, having various roles at church and in our community, time has become something that's very hard to find. I've managed to cope with that by just handing over the reins in certain aspects. So giving over control to people in my inner circle that I trust. The first piece of advice is that we all sometimes come to that stage in our career or a season in life where you believe that it's time for you to leave your corporate job and then step out into the unknown. And that happens to a lot of people. My advice would be, before you actually take that step, to be practical and to have at least a 3-month nest egg to tie you over, because you never make money from the first day that you leave your job. And the second is to always surround yourself with people who believe in you and that are not going to question you in a negative sense. It's easy to stay in a comfort zone, but it takes a real winner to step out and to persevere in a place that's uncomfortable. So I'm married to Desmond Moodley. He owns a company called Plastipack. Plastipack deals with the manufacture and recycling of plastic goods. And so a lot of what I've learned in business is actually through him. I have 4 children. The eldest is 14. He had been diagnosed with cerebral palsy when he was 6. And he has come through an absolute winner. He's at the moment the brand ambassador for WFF because he is a weightlifter. So he's also taught me about breaking barriers and not having labels attached to you. I also have a 12-year-old daughter, a 10-year-old son, and a 7-year-old daughter. So we're quite a big family. I really find it hard to unwind. I'm always on. But when I do find the chance, I think just a walk on the beach is good enough for me. I find joy in actually planning. So if I'm planned, I'm happy. My advice to women out there in business is for really, we hear this so much that women should uplift one another, but it really comes down to the practical side of things. How do we as local businesses uplift one another on social media, on personal interactions, networking? Do we really do it? It's not just lip service, but it should be practically part of our lives. I believe small business is the future of South Africa because we're building for our children. So if we hope to achieve something that makes a difference in our macroeconomic environment, it has to start at the microeconomic level. So my advice would be to always uplift the next woman.